Welcome to episode 3 of the Leg Club podcast. I am Ellie Lindsay and today I'm going to talk about loneliness. Communities are made up of people with their own unique personalities, and activity, involvement and participation in different social settings are known to have health and well-being benefits. Yet, at some point in our life, most of us will experience periods of loneliness, and perhaps even withdraw from family, friends and the wider society. Globally, there are growing concerns about the rate and consequence of loneliness, especially amongst the older generation. And in recent years, demographic shifts suggest that the number of people experiencing loneliness are likely to increase in line with the ageing population. And especially for those who are living alone, this again raises a higher risk of social isolation. Since the emergence of COVID-19, it has been fascinating to listen to my colleagues and friends' description of today's lockdown society as we now come to know it. It's been interesting to gain insight from all age groups into how they have adapted to the changes, both professionally and socially, and the effect these have had on their lives. Especially for younger people describing their account about how their elderly parents and older friends have experienced loss of connection to others and the disappearance of everyday routines. Feeling lonely is something not many of us do admit to, fearing it could be interpreted as a sign of weakness. But since social isolation, more people have started to talk more openly about it. And I have been made aware of the impact of loneliness by many seniors who describe to me the emotional effects of being isolated and being suddenly removed from their social groups, friends and loved ones, which can cause deep negative emotions that can lead to depression and mental health problems. Loneliness can be exacerbated by uncertainty of the future, fear, apprehension, reorganisation of family communications, and finding meaningful alternatives for the collection of shopping, prescriptions, and having to become dependent upon friends and one's local community. Being lonely influences our lives, and for many the associated solitude of not sharing everyday situations with loved ones. This is not synonymous with chosen isolation or solitude, but caused by the loss of a partner as a social companion whilst in other people's company. Like so many in this situation, I too miss the interaction with other humans, such as meeting people through everyday life, travelling, spending time with loved ones, and enjoying meals and a glass of wine or two with my friends and colleagues. Especially as we all have a natural psychological need to socially belong, enabling us to cope with the reality of what's going on in our everyday lives, and being grateful for what we have, not for what we don't have. As societies, we all need each other, and meeting and conversing virtually remains alien to many, as non-verbal communication and facial expressions are an important language that is greatly missed whilst due to current restrictions, restricting us relating to social contact, which has now almost disappeared. Yet despite the current situation and restrictions globally, we must remain positive, as there is a renewed sense of optimism and hope about the possibility of returning to post-pandemic life, especially now that the coronavirus vaccine programme internationally has commenced. However, whilst we may be able to have family and friend reunions and hopefully international border restrictions lifted to enable us to travel again, I think many of us may still be wearing masks well into late 2021 and beyond. As I end, I would like you to reflect on loved ones you haven't seen for a long time, or friends or neighbours who perhaps might be experiencing loneliness. And when you get a moment, please pick up the phone and just give them a call, because I know from personal experience it is absolutely so appreciated and wonderful to just hear a human voice and to converse, which is normally what we do every day in a social environment. So let's hope we can move forward with positivity. Thank you.